Yeah, so down in Mississippi, unfortunately, a 1 year old was unalived by police. Let me get that story pulled up, y'all. Hold on 1 second. So, I'm going to begin with one of the most heartbreaking stories that's going on in America this week. There was a 1 year old little boy named Cohen Wiley. He is now dead after police opened fire on a vehicle outside a Walmart in Senatobia, Mississippi. And the reason the officers were there in the first place, they were there because there was an alleged shoplifting call involving diapers. So let's walk through exactly what investigators say happened. So, according to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, the MBI, officers from Senatobia Police Department and deputies from the Tate County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of shoplifting at the Walmart on Highway 51. Authorities say they encountered two women and a 1 year old child leaving the store and getting into a vehicle. Police say they attempted to stop the vehicle, but the driver allegedly drove toward an officer and nearly struck him. So that's when the officer opened fire on the vehicle. The vehicle left the parking lot and made its way to a nearby hospital. Inside the car were Cohen Wiley, he was 1 year old, his mother, and his mother's friend who was driving. Unfortunately, Cohen was pronounced dead. The driver suffered critical injuries, and the mother was physically unharmed, though. So that's where the story becomes a little bit more complicated, y'all. His family disputes that the police version of events wasn't the same as what happened. His mother says she lifted her baby into the air trying to show officers that a child was inside the vehicle before shots were fired. And she also disputes that the driver was intentionally driving towards officers, saying that the vehicle was moving away and not attempting to strike anyone. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is now representing the family and says Cohen's mother was never charged with a crime and is demanding the release of all body camera footage and Walmart surveillance video as well. The community response has been immediate. Protests have erupted outside of that Walmart and City Hall with demonstrators demanding transparency and accountability. Law enforcement officers have been in riot gear, eventually dispersed those crowds using chemical irritants and tensions escalated. So I'm going to pull up the video that I have, um, and then we can go from there. And this is the latest update. This is kind of long, so I'm going to skip through some of the parts. Oh, yeah. I'll skip through some of the parts and then we'll go from there. So y'all bear with me because, like I said, I'm trying. My computer did some funky stuff the other day, and I should have delved into it a little bit further than what I have been. Yeah, I know, right? Miles said, "What the f?" Hey, Tristan, I appreciate you being here, Tristan. I don't even have my vertical up, y'all. It's been um my Chrome is acting crazy because I usually have Chrome going, and now I'm on Edge, Microsoft Edge. So yeah, so I'm gonna add this to the stage, and we're gonna listen in. Like I said, I might skip through some of the parts. I really wanted to get the take of the mother, and then we'll go from there.
Death of a 1-year-old that was shot by police. This is actually cell phone video from Sunday that you see on your screen. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation telling us that officers were responding to a shoplifting call when they spotted two adults and a child running from the store, then getting into a car. According to investigators, the driver drove toward officers, so they fired shots. 1-year-old Cohen Wiley died at the hospital. Now Cohen's mom, Valicia, is sharing her side of the story.
It was me, my son, and another friend of mine was at Walmart. As we was leaving out the Walmart, they tried to stop her, but I kept walking because it had nothing to do with me. By the time me and my baby got in the car, she came, and then when we was backing up, they was running out the cone. I raised my baby up because they withdrew their gun. She had no tent. I raised my baby up trying to show them that he was in the car. So she was backing up and she hit a car. As I was opening the door, so the door flew back in. By the time I set my baby down, it was like 3 to 4 shots. One of the shots hit him in his rib cage, and the other shots hit her in her arm and her thigh. And we left and went to Senatobia Hospital where he was pronounced dead. And they told me I wasn't gonna be able to see him until he get back from Jackson. She got airlifted, and the police told me I couldn't leave out the hospital until somewhere I couldn't leave out, couldn't nobody come in. And I ended up walking out, and the crowd was questioning them, asking them what happened. They was like, she was shoplifting. But the passenger, it was me. They wasn't talking about me. They was talking about the driver. But on the little, what's it called, self-checkout, they can see, it's camera, they can see when she got the diapers and walked out. But they tried to say that she forcefully was trying to drive and hit them, but they was all on the right side, and she was driving towards the left. They just personally just shot in the car.
Did they try to charge you with anything?
No, they didn't charge me. They ain't charged me with nothing. They just let me go. They didn't say nothing. They just kept telling the crowd that they were shoplifting. But I don't know if they found anything, because there's nothing found.
Okay.
Powerful misstatements there from the mother. Attorneys representing Cohen's family are calling for the release of the key video evidence. That request includes body camera footage, dash camera video, and surveillance video from the Walmart where the incident happened. ABC 24 Shekinah Davis is in Senatobia with what the family's legal team is demanding.
I'm standing outside of the Senatobia Walmart where the shooting happened Sunday. Now the family's attorneys say answers to some other questions may be found in video they want released.
We want to see the body cam footage from the officers. We also want to see the footage from Walmart. And the family is just wondering why the officer dispatched his service gun, knowing that there was a child in the car.
Attorney Van Turner is representing the family of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley and assisting civil rights attorney Ben Crump. He says the family is seeking video from multiple sources as they try to better understand what happened. According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers responding to the shoplifting call at this Walmart encountered 2 adults and a child inside a vehicle. Investigators say an officer fired after the vehicle drove toward law enforcement. Cohen Wiley was later pronounced dead after the vehicle arrived at a nearby hospital.
But we want a transparent investigation.
Wait, did y'all say that though? It seemed like, let's go back. It seemed like she was driving off.
Attorney Ben Crump. He says the family is seeking video from multiple sources as they try to better understand what happened. According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers responding to the shoplifting call at this Walmart encountered 2 adults and a child inside a vehicle. Investigators say an officer fired after the vehicle drove toward law enforcement. Cohen Wiley was later pronounced dead after the vehicle arrived at a nearby hospital.
But we want a transparent investigation. We want a thorough investigation, and we want to make sure that there is no chance of any type of cover-up.
The officer involved has been placed on leave without pay while the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation continues its review of the shooting. Turner says the family believes the release of video could help answer questions to provide clarity for the community.
This was a horrible tragedy. No 1-year-old child deserves to pass away from this earth like we've seen here in this case. So they're just asking for your prayers and they're asking for your support.
Turner says the family's legal team is continuing to work with attorney Ben Crump and expects to provide additional updates later. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation says its investigation remains ongoing. In Senatobia, Shekinah Davis, ABC 24 News.
Now, in those first 48 hours after the shooting, the case gripped national headlines. The commissioner for the Mississippi Department of Public Safety held a news conference to address some of those concerns.
And so I want you to be assured that it will be a thorough investigation and it will be one where transparency is there. I'll be glad to answer any questions from the media first, if there are any that you might have about the process. I will not get into the details of the investigation. I would have everybody keep in mind, this just occurred about 48 hours ago. So it's still a very, very new investigation.
Approximately Fox 13 News question about the actual body cam video. When is that expected to be released? A lot of people keep asking about that. I know that there's a process, but is there a time frame?
The way that we've handled it in the last 4 years is we will release that once that investigation is complete. And once that part of the process is done, if you think about any other criminal case, we never release evidence before that time.
It's too much that's too much background noise for me, y'all. But let's see. Basically, he's just saying that let's see if there's anything else in here. We're gonna look one more.
Senatobia packed a Board of Aldermen meeting demanding to see the video footage from that incident. ABC 24's Ezekiel Tomoko has that story.
Community members filled Senatobia City Hall following the death of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley after he was shot and killed in the Senatobia Walmart right off of US 51. Now, when it comes to community members, they say that they've had enough and they're demanding for evidence when it comes to what took place here on Sunday. According to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, officers with the Senatobia Police Department and Tate County Sheriff's Office responded to a shoplifting call Sunday at the Walmart on US 51. Investigators say that officers encountered 2 subjects and a child leaving the store in a vehicle. The MBI says that the driver allegedly drove towards officers and nearly struck one of them before an officer fired their weapon. Now, the vehicle later arrived at a local hospital for 1-year-old.
So they basically saying everything else. Let's see what these.
At Walmart parking lot. And what called these arraigned officers to feel the need to fire on a woman and a child.
FBI is over the investigation. Listen to what I'm saying. I would like to see the footage just as well as everybody else in order to make a decision. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Brother,
I understand we need to suspend him without pay. Suspending him without pay until FBI finishes their investigation.
City leaders also announced that the officer involved had been placed on administrative leave without pay pending the outcome of the investigation. Mississippi Department of Public Safety Commissioner Sean Tyndall says that investigators are working to collect evidence and to complete a thorough review of the incident.
It's one of those things that across the board, it takes time. Again, this happened on Sunday. We got to gather a lot of that evidence, and it doesn't just happen as quick as everybody wants it to. I understand that, but I cannot allow expediency to overtake the quality of the work that we're expected to do in these types of cases.
The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation tells ABC 24 specifically that this remains an ongoing investigation and that, again, they're going to continue to send more information to the Attorney General of Mississippi when it comes to what took place at the Walmart.
And see, they out there protesting. What good it?
The video of one of the protests surrounding the shooting outside of that Senatobia Walmart. Police deployed tear gas yesterday, and a large crowd gathered outside the store. They had to close early after hundreds of people gathered there following a march from City Hall to the Tate County Courthouse. Now, this actually isn't the first time Senatobia has been at the center of investigations drawing national attention. In 2023, police arrested a 10-year-old boy after an officer saw him urinating beside his mother's car outside of a law office. The case sparked lawsuits and led police leaders to acknowledge.
We ain't. So yeah, y'all. It's a sad situation all the way around. Tristan said, I miss so many of y'all. Show, man, I'm slacking. It's okay, Tristan, we still here. We know your heart's here. Miles said, so she was just as brainless. Babies don't stop bullets. I think her whole purpose, Miles, and I'm not trying to stick up for her, was like, hey, I have a baby, don't shoot type deal. But I don't know. Tristan said the police were obviously reckless, but why would you hold your baby up instead of just telling them that you have a baby in the car? I understand. Miles said, if anything, shield the baby. Absolutely. Hey, Sco, welcome in, Sco. Appreciate you being here. Tristan said, exactly. If y'all came together, why would you leave her there? It sounds like she knew that the girls were stealing allegedly. I think she did know. Tristan said, what's up, Sco? Yeah, so, of course, there's still facts that the investigators have to determine. Did the vehicle actually present an immediate deadly threat? Were there other options available? What do the body cameras show? Of course, those answers matter, but there is one fact that is not in dispute, that a 1-year-old is dead, and that's what makes this story so difficult. I think sometimes we become so accustomed to hearing officer-involved shootings that we forget to pause and recognize that there is humanity involved. This wasn't a robbery involving weapons. This wasn't an active shooter. This started as an alleged shoplifting call over what witnesses and family members say involved diapers. So whether those allegations prove true or false, we're left with a family planning a funeral for a 1-year-old. So that should make every one of us stop and be like, hey, what's really going on? Because if the lowest risk person in the entire situation is one who loses his life, then every American, regardless of politics, should want to know exactly how we got here. So